Welcome to the Mana Moment, a show about Magic the Gathering, and here we go. Hey everybody, I'm Cash West, and I love to play stompy counter building decks.
I'm Steve Starr, and I play token dropping decks.
I am the Brando, and I have a tattoo of Pithing Needle.
Yeah, this is Free Fall, and I like the Critter Shitter decks.
Alright, so, commander of the blue-white is, the deck's called First Flight, is Asperia Supreme Judge. It's flying. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, you may draw a card. It is a 6/4 as well. Honestly, just skimming through it, there's a few things that I really notice. It's pretty much your basic draw life gain deck.
Yeah, you're right, Starman. There's a lot of reprint artifacts in here, too. We got a Biden Athasa. We got Arcane Signet, which is a shoe-in. Also the Soul Ring. And then the Arzorius Signet. That's also a shoe-in for all those mana rocks. The Hedron Archive, though, that's the one kicker. You get to draw cards off of it. And it goes towards that commander, drawing cards. So, I mean, it's, like you said, card draw and gain life.
I think the strongest part for this deck is that it's going to be able to, whenever a creature attacks you or you attack a creature, I believe it was, you get the choice to choose whether or not you want to draw a card. That's going to be a pretty powerful ability, I think.
If you're talking about the commander's ability itself, it's whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, which I noticed earlier that having that Gideon in there, it's plus, it's straight up, it's going to force the card draw at least one time.
Well, that's great information. Just my thoughts on it. I have a love-hate relationship with card draw. I don't use it a lot. I do use the Soul Ring and stuff like that for the mana rocks. Mana rocks are great. I've learned to start incorporating them into my decks. But the card draw, it's give or take. It's nice to do it when you get attacked. But I'm just not a big fan of card draw, so this deck will probably not get my money.
And they also have a new reprint. It's not a new reprint, but a new one for me, Sharding Sphinx, which I love the name.
So, Cash, you say this deck isn't going to get your money, but I beg to differ because your favorite card's in it.
I got like 5 of those cards.
It's got the Aven Gaggle Master.
So that's
that's
literally that's literally one of my favorite cards. Not just because it's a good card. It's a flyer. You gain 2 life for each.
No, it's the name.
Creature,
it's the
but
Master.
The Gaggle Master is my favorite card. So
that, and I think, wasn't this one going to have like catbirds in it too? Didn't it have what the?
I think it was the treasure tokens, or not treasure tokens, but the.
Does have cat.
I'm pretty sure you should. Yeah,
I want it just for that.
You can just cut that in.
Aven Gaggle Master and Sharding Sphinx is a good combo.
I think you're about to spend money
It
on
sounds
this
like
deck
it
just
sounds,
for the
listen,
name game.
It sounds like a Blumpkin. That's just my thoughts on it.
It's artifact heavy. It definitely is, because I mean that the Sharding Sphinx shards out blue Thopters 1/1s.
Right. That's good though. But yeah, I'm just I'm gonna pass and get a different one in this set, I think.
So what do you think, Brandon? Buy or pass?
This is a pass. I already have a lot of these cards. I mean, it's great for the reprint value. Especially if you're, out there trying to, pump up your Shorekai decks, or if anybody's using the original commander from that, I don't even remember the name of her. But blue-white decks will like the reprints. I mean, hell, any white deck will take Avian Gaggle Master.
I beg to differ. I own a white deck that won't take Avian Gaggle Master. So Brandon, you say pass then?
Yeah, hard pass.
Greg, what do you think? Pass or get?
Personally, I'll get it. I've got the several of the Sharding Sphinxes already because I've been in it since like the mid '90s. As long, I'll definitely be making edits to the deck, adding some cards, retracting others. But I think it's definitely good.
Well, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I don't think any of these decks, if any of us get them, are gonna stay precons.
Fair
Right.
enough.
Honestly, I do like some of the reprints in it. I do like the whole. It does what it's supposed to. It looks like. But honestly, I think I would go ahead up and pass it up. There's just not enough. It's a standard mid-range blue-white deck. I don't see really anything overly special about it. Yeah, I'd pass it up too. So it sounds like general consensus is pass this one up unless you have some plans on either piecing it out.
Next
or-
up, we got Giza and Garoff. It's a mill deck and blue and black. 2 and a blue and a black for a 4/4 legendary human wizard. And when they enter the battlefield, mill 4 cards. And during each of your turns, you may cast a zombie creature spell from your graveyard. So there's going to be a lot of recursion in this deck, I assume. There's also going to be a lot of mill. And that seems to be what blue and black are doing these days.
I mean, without naming any specific cards, definitely looks like you are right, Brandon. I do have in my notes, got a lot of graveyard love. There's a lot of self-mill, get the big shit in there, pull it right the fuck back out. Looks like there's a lot of recursion spells, enchantments. The Lillian fucking Planeswalker it comes with is definitely recursion on its own. So it's not really a lot of, doesn't look like it's a lot of really millie everybody, more like a little millie myself.
We also have a reprint of Great Merchant of Asphodel, Gary himself. But yeah, it's basically you get loses X life, where X is the number of your devotion to black, and then you gain life equal to the life lost this way. So like it's like it goes in your what's that vampire guy deck? The one you like
Edgar?
with that combo piece.
Edgar, Vito.
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 Mhm.
I don't know what to say about this one. I'm not a big one into the blue and black anymore.
Okay, so no thoughts on it,
I'm
Greg.
not-
You would pass on this one, right?
I mean, pretty much. There's nothing that really excites me about this one. It's just once a turn you can cast a zombie creature from your graveyard, and it forces you to mill. It's not like you can take from the mill taken for that card. I didn't see a lot of cards that let you play it from a mill,
From your graveyard.
mill pile either.
Yeah.
Well,
This
your
one
mill-
doesn't look that great for me.
I mean, your mill is your graveyard, so any graveyard recursion would
How
allow
much?
you to
But how much
replay
is in
anything
there
that mills
for
it.
graveyard recursion?
So mill is the graveyard now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
It's
yeah,
been
yeah,
that. It's just-
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you had to have a separate mill pile from the. Oh,
No,
never
no,
mind.
no.
No,
I'm thinking something
that's
else.
Exile.
Exile.
Yeah, exile.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You were thinking about that. Yeah,
No,
it's all
you're
good.
fine.
It's all good.
It just doesn't seem like that much of a deck to me.
Any other cards you want to look at?
No, I would probably get this deck, like you guys said, with the Veto and the Exquisite Blood and a few other of the Gain Life and stuff. I would definitely probably get this deck.
Their view, pass or
They already did it.
Thumbs down.
pass for you, Greg. You already said pass, right?
Yeah.
Yep, thumbs down.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely won't get it. Going back over it, double checking this, it doesn't necessarily actually look like it's graveyard love. More like sacrificing creatures from your graveyard and turning them into zombies. It's like zombie tokens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the Liliana and Commander allow you. So basically, it's bring a zombie back from your graveyard. It dies, creates a zombie. Type shit. I do kind of like
With that news, I would still buy it.
but I probably
Take a penny,
would.
believe a penny, but with zombies.
Yeah, I don't. I'd pass.
Next up on our list is Chaos Incarnate, featuring Carter Doomscourge as the commander. His abilities include when he enters the battlefield until your next turn, creatures your opponent's control attack each combat if able, and attack a player other than you if able. And as the secondary ability is, whenever an attacking creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. Now, this could be an interesting deck as long as you can keep Doom Scourge out. Seems to have a lot of inexpensive cards that focus on pushing your opponent to attack while being able to defend yourself. That way, whenever any of their creatures die while attacking other opponents, it gives you life and deals more damage to them. However, personally, this isn't just my play style, so I probably pass on it. But it would be a great introductory deck for anybody that likes Rakdos.
I do enjoy me some Chaos. However, I already own most of, not all of this deck, so it's an okay thing. But I'm gonna pass.
I would buy it and use it if I played for more than 2 people, obviously, because the way the main ability is. But yeah, I don't know. I would buy it.
Yeah, like you said, Starman, there's a lot of incentive to get you to get your opponents to fight each other. Also, I think a great reprint in here is Chaos Warp. You exile someone's permanent into their deck, and then they have to take whatever off the top. I think that's good stuff.
You'll double that down.
Yeah. Yeah, that Dictate of the Twin Gods looks good to me. I like what that does, but I'm not a big player of red. I do play black, but red-black I've never tried. I'm building a red-black deck, but I have yet to play it, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's probably the only one that sticks out to me at the moment. Like you already covered a lot of it, but that's your play style, so I'm not a big Chaos player. All right, next deck we have is a green-red deck, Atarka World Render. It is a dragon deck. Flying Trample. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, it gains double strike until the end of turn. So if you have a dragon-heavy deck that you don't want to play with this precon, you can go ahead and work this in there, and then you get some double strike going on. It has some enchantments in there I like with some counter builder, or what are them called? Fucking when you +3 shit.
A lot of power, toughness, combat building.
It has a lot of combat building with power and toughness, +3/+3, stuff like that. You got some choosing creatures, which you can choose your dragon, all kinds of different stuff in here that I like. I don't have any dragon decks fully built. I have one. No, I lied. I have one dragon deck that's fully built. And I would like to see this with it. Also, this precon itself, it looks pretty good. So I like it.
There are a lot of reprinted dragons in this deck, and in fact, there's actually a Sarkhan from one of the Tarkir sets that's getting a reprint, and he makes dragons. So I think that you're going to lean heavy into this, even if you play it out of the box or if you add any dragons of your own. There also happens to be a Steel Hellkite, which is always fun to play with. For 6 mana, it's an artifact creature, dragon, obviously. With flying, tap 2, Steel Hellkite gets +1/+0 until end of turn, so you can stack that for every 2 that you pay. You can pay X and destroy each non-land permanent with mana value X whose controller was dealt combat damage by Steel Hellkite this turn. Activate only once per turn. So you can pump it, and then you can pay that X to destroy pretty much anything on their board that you want to get rid of. It's got every dragon deck, or everything a dragon deck would want to have in it.
Alrighty, so just looking over it, I'm not really knowledgeable as far as the dragon creatures go, but I can tell you I definitely know some of these enchantments. Like Cash said, Crucible Fire, +3/+3 for all the dragons, and you're going to drop a Urix Uprising. It's going to give them all trample. And it's probably going to get you a card draw because giving them all +3/+3 is almost going to guarantee you have a creature with power 4 or more or greater. But yeah, so it looks like there are definitely a lot of pumpy, make me stompy. It's a full-on aggro deck.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
I like big stompy decks, and I like dragons. Like I said, haven't really played the one I got built much, but I do enjoy building them and looking at them. And I like all dragon arts. I don't care. Every single dragon I've came across, I like the art. So this is a would buy for me.
Yeah, I agree with you, Cash. I think I'd pick this one up just for the art. So it's a buy.
Well, I love this deck's main card's ability. I'm going to have to say pass on this one simply because I'm not big into dragons being dual colors. I like them mainly to be red, unless they're like have some other creature type like dragon, zombie, or something like that. So, for me, it's a hard pass, but though I will purchase the commander down the line.
Like I said, I'm definitely here for this. I don't really play a whole lot of stompy style decks. I'm definitely the token shitter deck. But I 100% have been thinking about branching out to my play styles, and I think I'm 100% behind this deck. I feel it is a buy.
And finally, and certainly not least, we have the deck Token Triumph, whose commander is Amara, Soul of the Accord. And this lovely lass has the ability of whenever Amara, Soul of the Accord becomes tapped, you create a 1/1 white soldier token with lifelink. And this deck just seems to be all about the critter shitters. So if that's the kind of deck you're into, this is the deck you're going to want to pay attention to.
So yeah, I definitely agree with you, Free File. 100% if you're looking for a token shitting deck, this is the way to go. I'm loving it. The one thing that I would have thought would have been cool to kind of have in it would maybe be a reprint of a doubling season.
Wishful thinking, my friend.
I really like this deck. I'm big into elves. I'm also big into token building because of this guy over here. I like the fact that you get to create 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. I also like some of the elves in this deck. I like the enchantments. Everything about this deck I like, and yeah, I don't see anything bad about it.
Yeah, there is a lot of critters being shit out in this deck. We got ourselves a Hornet Nest and a Hornet Queen. Hornet Queen is a good one to have in a green deck that's going to be putting out, token creatures. And with Hornet Nest, you're doing the same thing. You're making more 1/1 green creature tokens with flying that have Death Touch. And again, I love the Death Touch.
And one of the other things I really like about this deck is that it's got one of my favorite cards of all times, the White Sun Zenith. It allows you to create X 2/2 white cat creature tokens. Then you can shuffle White Sun Zenith into your library afterwards. And it costs 3 and X, so it's actually a really cheap card that you can just constantly recycle throughout the entire game. So definitely a plus in my book.
Like I said before, I'm into elves and I'm into everything about this deck, so it is a double thumbs up for me. I would buy it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pass on this. I'm going to have to piggyback up on what Starman said. It should have come with something like doubling season and also an anointed procession just to double up on all your tokens. It's going to be a hard pass.
For me, this is going to be a definite get. This is my favorite out of all of them from this set. Because like I said before, I'm big into the critter shitter decks, and this just does it to a T. So this is going to be a definite get for me.
So this one's going to be really hit or miss. I would love to say buy because it's everything that's right up my alley. I think that of the 5, it's going to be easily the best one for me to pilot, just solely on the fact that I already know exactly how to do it. But at the same time, like I said earlier, I'm really kind of trying to change up my style and see what else I can do. So I might pass up on it just because I'm kind of tired of the same old.
So in closing, talking about these decks, while it may be missing a few things that could work some better combos out, I feel like it really hit the nail on the head for new players. Being a new player within the last year and taking the time to learn the game, these decks being ready out of the box really makes it easier for players to get into the game.
I think you're absolutely right, Cash.
Hey, just want to thank you all for joining me and the guys here on the Man of Moment, the new show about Magic. Hopefully we'll have some more fun and get you guys out some more episodes here in the near future. Y'all have a wonderful night.